Good evening from Geneva and welcome to the Earth Prize Teachers and Schools webinar. Thank you for taking the time to join us. I'm Angela McCarthy, the CEO of the Earth Foundation, and I'm joined by the Head of Strategy, Julie Rufino, and Karen Wilson, one of our adjudicating panelists. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, the Earth Prize is a $200,000 global environmental sustainability competition for students from the ages of 13 to 19 to come up with a solution for the environmental issues that are at hand. This evening, we will be answering questions from teachers and schools. We have had some fantastic conversations over the past few months with teachers, and we thought to share them with you. A little later on, we'll be answering live questions. But for now, I'd like to give a very warm welcome to one of our adjudicating panelists. She is an internationally known expert on impact investment, sustainable finance, and impact measurement through her work with the OECD, along with Oxford Said Business School and many other organizations. She has also significant experience working with networks of teachers and universities. She has a Bachelor's of Science from the University of Carnegie Mellon. She also has an MBA from Harvard Business School. Karen Wilson, we are delighted to have your expertise on our adjudicating panel.
Thank you so much, Angela. It's such a pleasure to be here with the schools and teachers that have been able to join us. I was asked to say a few words about why I joined the adjudicating panel, and also about why schools and students might want to engage. And I wanted to start by saying I really believe that the environment is our most important intergenerational challenge. And what's really exciting about the Earth Foundation is that they're addressing that head on by educating and inspiring young people to take action and work on developing sustainable solutions. And I've seen through my earlier work, working with schools and universities, the importance of action learning. It's not just what students learn in the classroom, it's also how they can really engage in topics and get their minds around something. So to work on projects like this is really exciting and very important. I've also seen the very critical role that schools and universities play in shaping the pipeline of future leaders. So to expose young people at an early age to these key issues of sustainability and have them put their brilliant minds to work on it is so important. So it's really exciting to be part of the Earth Foundation and to help develop this growing community of young people and young change makers. They are the future, and they are the ones that are going to help address these really important environmental challenges. So why should schools and students engage? Well, it's an opportunity for students to learn about many environmental issues. I mean, obviously we know that climate change is a very pressing issue, but there are many issues beyond that, biodiversity loss, plastic pollution, food waste. There are so many important issues. And these young people not only can be inspired by being part of the Earth Foundation and part of the process of the Earth Prize, but they can also inspire others. And the exciting thing about the Earth Prize is that when students become part of the process, they're embarking on a longer term journey, and they're really engaging in an ecosystem with other students, with mentors, with other environmental leaders, and it's for the long term, regardless of what happens, what the outcome of the prize is. So it's really a learning journey and a longer term network and process that they can be part of. So that's really also what's different about the Earth Prize, the fact that the Earth Prize and the Earth Foundation is really creating an ecosystem for these young people, for the schools, for the universities, and for these environmental leaders to progress together in addressing sustainability solutions. And this focus on young people is so important because, again, they are the ones that are going to make the difference, and they are the change makers. So I know we're here tonight to hear your questions. So I'd like to turn over to Julie, who will moderate the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen. It's such a pleasure to have you on our panel, really is. Good evening from me and welcome. I'm Julia Rufino. I'm the head of strategy at the Earth Foundation. For the past year, I've been working to strategically define the Earth Prize. And it's been an immense pleasure. With our fantastic team and our advisors, we have created a competition that is a unique opportunity for schools and teachers around the world. The Earth Prize is more than just a prize, and today's webinar is dedicated to sharing all the details with you and answering your questions. In fact, we've already received many questions from students and teachers from around the world, but we're also looking forward to hearing yours live today, and you can just type them in the Q&A section here at the bottom of your screen. So let's begin. As I said, we have some questions that we've collected, so I'll start with those. The first one would be, who can participate in the Earth Prize and how can I join? Maybe Angela, you can take this one.
With pleasure, with pleasure. I speak to schools every day almost, and this is what I tell them. I say that the Earth Prize is open to all students all over the world. And all you need to do is go to the Earth Prize website and pre-register. In case you have any questions at all, you can contact me and we can arrange a call and I will explain to you step by step the process with absolute pleasure. So that's the answer to that. It's open to everyone, and we mean everyone. There is no fee to enter, so you just have to register.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to that. Thank you, Angela. The next one will be, what will my students need to do if they participate in the Earth Prize? So I'm happy to take that one. The first thing, obviously, is to pre-register. Then you will have to build a team or decide if you want to participate as an individual. Then students will have the time to think of an issue that they want to tackle, something that they're passionate about. And then they will have to come together and think of a solution. This is what we are looking for at the Earth Prize. We are really looking forward to receiving all sorts of solutions to these environmental challenges. Right. Next, what kind of time commitment is required for the schools and the teachers? I can also take that one. So it's important to know that we've designed the Earth Prize knowing that teachers have very busy schedules, right? Which I'm sure you do. So that means that we have created support for participants. Participants will receive this support on the one hand through online learning, and also thanks to a pool of mentors from top universities who will be there to support and guide them throughout. And this is really important to remember. So this initiative can be very much student-led. Teachers can be as a sounding board for their teams, but the time commitment won't necessarily be very strong, and actually, it can really be as low as you wish. Right. The next question is maybe a bit more of a broad question, but it's one that we really like. So what is in it for schools and teachers? Maybe Karen, you can take this one.
Yes, well, going back to what I was saying before, it's really an opportunity for schools and teachers to engage their students in such important topics. And the Earth Foundation has put together some great materials for the students to really learn about these important environmental issues. And it's something that's really fun for the students and a way to really engage them in actively working on finding solutions. The other thing is the schools and teachers also in some ways become part of the broader Earth Foundation network. And part of that includes the connection between the schools and the universities through the mentorship program. So again, as you said, Julie, earlier, it's not a big time commitment for the teachers themselves. It's sort of an additional bonus of something the Earth Foundation is providing to students on a topic in which they're so passionate, as we've seen, and helping them unleash their creative spirit around this topic.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you. This is a question that we've received many, many times. So we think it's a really important one. Is it possible to have more than one team in a school? I'll let Angela take this one.
Absolutely. I get this question quite regularly, actually. I pitch to the schools, I let them know what we're doing. And I think I've had about 7 or 8 schools call me back about 2 weeks later after they've pitched to the kids. And they're pretty eager and nervous and excited, saying, can we have more than one team per school? I'm like, absolutely. So the more the merrier. But just to be clear that each team is separate and they will have their own project, but from the same school. So yes, Julie, 100%. We are very much open to as many teams as you like from each school.
Fantastic. We have a question here live from Ms. Ghana Becker. He says, she says, I'm sorry, I don't know. I am a school director from Ethiopia. How can I help my students here? Maybe Angela, you can take this one.
Well, I've had a couple of calls with schools in Africa. And I think at the end of the day, what happens with every school all over the world is the same scenario. They want to give opportunity to their students and somehow they've heard about us. So then what I do is I reach out once I have a connection and I organize a Zoom call so that I can take them step by step through the process, what's involved, what they need to do. And so they understand that they can definitely participate and they can do this and we're there to support them. So what I would do at that point is I would get in touch with the lady or the gentleman who has sent the message. We will write to them right after and we will schedule a call and I will guide them through step by step.
Yes, fantastic. You can always reach out to us on our website. So please do that. Right. The next question here is, can we participate next year? Maybe Angela, you can take this one.
I'll do that one because I get it all the time.
It's an easy one.
Yes, you can. Not only can you participate next year, we want you to participate every year. We want this to become a tradition in your school. We want it to be something where every year, like, oh, it's the Earth Prize Foundation, it's the Earth Prize website. We got to do this every year. So for us, that's what we're building here. This is our first year. We're very excited, but we're really looking for this to go for many, 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 many years ahead. And that's how we have strategically built this, in fact, as an ecosystem, because we imagine it way into the future. So that's a yes.
Fantastic. Right. I have another one here, which is, will there be criteria for selecting the students' work and will it be shared with the students? Maybe Karen, you can represent our panel in answering this one.
Thank you, Julie. Yes, of course, there will be criteria, and actually the adjudicating panel is already working hard on that alongside the Earth Foundation team and other advisors. We will publish the criteria. Actually, there will be a whole submission package that will be available online. So students and schools will have all the information they need, and the Earth Foundation team will also be available to answer any questions. So we're still working on finalizing the criteria, but things will be along the line of originality and innovativeness, sort of relevance to current environmental issues that we're facing today, feasibility of the idea. We do want very creative ideas, but they also have to be things that can be implemented. And also we will look at scalability, whether the idea can be replicated or scaled up. So those are some of the ideas that we have right now, but we will make that public once it's finalized.
Thank you. So do stay tuned on our website because everything will be happening there, and social media, of course, right? Right, another question from Francis Wanjala. Will the students physically do the project or will they just write proposals, then the project's done later? I'm happy to take this one. So the idea here is that the Earth Prize is open to all sorts of solutions. It can be something that you've already implemented. It can be just an idea that you're working on. It can be an idea you are implementing. So really, really open. We want the most brilliant, the most impactful ideas, but it can be anything. So I hope this answers your question and looking forward to whatever your school has to submit. Right. Okay, there's another one here from Zainab Rice. For the projects, do they need to be focused for a named country, ecosystem, or general? For example, a project for water filtration in Izmir Bay for increasing water quality. Would this work? Or a project on a broader scope? Would you like to take this, Angela?
Yeah, with pleasure. I think that sounds like a great idea, and she should not have put it on the web. Absolutely, 100%. These are the kind of ideas that we're looking for, and the rest you should keep secret. But you're on the right track, and if you want, you can have a call with me, and I will give you more guidance. But yes, absolutely, that would be something that would impact not only locally but globally. And that's something we're really looking for, is these solutions that you might think of in your local area make a difference. But in fact, if you copy it and map it out and use it all over the world, you've just created a huge impact worldwide, which is what we're looking for. So that's a great, great question.
Yes, thank you for that. Okay.
I'm tempted, Julie, to jump in there and just say, having worked in venture capital, you know, there are a lot of good ideas, but we're going to make the students really map out what's behind it. So that's what's really critical in the Earth Foundation Prize. It's thinking through the idea and how it could be implemented. So just having the idea is the starting point, but it's not the ending point.
Good point, Karen. Thank you. I'm just all excited about the idea. I'll give the rest to you, Karen.
One from Rebecca Tedesi Hunde. Greetings from Ethiopia. What about the grade and age level and number of students in a group? Angela, would you like to take this?
Sure, 100%. So you could be an individual. So someone who likes to work on their own or has a specific idea and they just want to go for it by themselves. Or it can be up until 5, a team of 5. So, you know, too many chefs in a kitchen gets a little hectic. So we think 5 is a nice number for a team. That's why we also are welcoming multiple teams from schools. So you might have a team of 3 from 13 to 15. You might have a team of 5 in the 16-year-old group, and you might have one person who's 17 or 18. So yes, that's the range. It's either 1 or up until 5 per team.
Great, thank you. So we have a few questions here about the one from an anonymous attendee. Can you explain more about the stages in the process? And also, just lost it. Here we go. From Norbu Jamso. I love that people are joining in from all around the world. When and how the project will be submitted? So I'll try to respond to both in one go. The idea is that the Earth Prize competition, pre-registrations are open now, but the competition starts in September. Students will then have up until the end of January 2022 to submit their idea. Then we will select the finalists who will be working on this idea during the month of February, and the winners will be announced in March 2022. So you basically start thinking in September, and you have up until the end of January to submit your proposal or your idea. Okay, many questions coming in. So, can the project and the solution be locally, or has it to be necessarily transformed to other countries? From LK Ott. Maybe Angela, you can take this one.
Sure. So again, I get this question all the time, and I've sort of touched on it earlier. Locally or globally, we're open, because in fact, what maybe people don't realize in the moment or wherever they're located, that what is powerful and impactful locally, if you map it out in other places around the world, that would also have an incredible impact. So we're completely open to local or global, whatever you're coming up with, we're open to looking at.
Fantastic. Okay. I'm scrolling through, there's so many.
Doing well, you're doing well, Julie.
Okay, I am a teacher who will, this is from Fuluso Mawela. I am a teacher who will be watching 3 teams of students who want to enter the prize. Do I pre-register myself and put the teams under me there, or do the teams individually pre-register and allocate me as their supervising teacher? Or does each student in the team need to register individually and set up teams within the portals? I am a little unsure as to the details of registration. So for now, we're at the pre-registration stage. So that means that you can pre-register yourself and your students can pre-register as well. Once the registration opens, you will be the one to officially register yourself and the team. But for now, just pre-register and then we will explain everything when the time comes.
But we like her very much, that she's got many teams.
Yeah, love it. Okay, another one here. Oh, sorry, I just need to. Will the groups be allocated a mentor who can guide them through their projects, or will they work it out by themselves? From a student called Maclean Acoth. Maybe Angela, you want to take this?
Sure. So basically what will happen is you will have a supervisor guiding you, soundboard, but the bespoke content, which at one point Julie's going to touch on, she will explain in detail, further detail, I should say, what is supporting you. And in fact, this will be you guys running it with teacher supervision. Okay. And then after that, what will happen is whatever school you're at, they will decide how they want to run it with you. Does that help, Julie, a little bit, or is that not quite?
I think it does.
Okay.
But they're also the mentors.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the mentors are a pool. I think once they go on the website, they're going to see that the mentors are a pool online. So maybe they're not sure that when you shoot in a question by email, that approximately 10 to 20 mentors will, whoever decides to answer your question with links or research or a movie to watch or an idea, they will be, of course, there, but online. They're not physical as such, and you can't speak to them as such. We're also being very careful regarding the protection of children. So everyone will have a code name, so to speak. It's Jack at Princeton or Jane at MIT or whatever it may be, so that you know that the students are only interacting relating to discussions to their project on the Earth Prize.
Thank you, Angela. Right, so bridging on this, you mentioned the learning materials, and we have a question here. What kind of learning materials will students have access to? So I'm happy to take this one on. So basically, we've been working with a world-class film production company based in the UK and professors from top universities, sustainability professors, to help us create the Earth Prize learning videos. So these videos can be broken down into 3 categories. The first category is about key concepts on our planet, environmental sustainability, the Anthropocene, the transition. So these key concepts that students need to understand. In the next category, we'll be learning, or hearing, I should say, from change makers from around the world, who will be talking straight into the camera, straight to the students, telling them about their stories, their solutions, how they came up with the idea, what they did, their impact, and really telling the students that if they were able to do it, so can you. Finally, the last category is about real-world skills. Students will be learning what sort of skills you need to become a change maker. And all of these videos will be accompanied by text to give links to further readings and help the students further. This content that we're creating is really here to act as a springboard for inspiration and for knowledge to help the students throughout the process. So I hope that this answers the question about the learning content.
Yes.
Right. There's another question here. Oh, we've had this already. Sorry, I'm reading through.
Again.
Okay, does the submission need to be a product or invention, or can it also be a movement? Maybe Karen, you can take this one.
Sure, thanks, Julie. It can be anything. It can be a movement. It can be a project. It can take any form. Again, we're really looking for creative, original ideas that can be implemented. And maybe just building on what you were saying, Julie, about the content. You know, I think that, and also what Angela said earlier about, you know, the process, or you said earlier about the process and the winners. I think everyone who's involved in the Earth Prize is a winner, because they're all going to be learning throughout the process. They're going to be meeting people. They're going to be inspired, and they're going to have fun. So I think it's really exciting.
The fun is key, Karen, and that's something we really want to translate through to the teachers and the students. This is supposed to be fun. They've got enough doom and gloom, and we're here creating something where they're being supported, inspired, educated, empowered, and we're doing that through a competition to be able to reach so many children around the world. So that's really very much something that's key and important to us.
Yes, very true. So there are so many questions. Maybe just a couple more. Okay, how about sorry.
Sure, it's all good. You've been doing very, very well.
It's tricky, right? Okay, so we've had this question a few times actually. Is it possible that a team can be guided by more than one teacher? Maybe Angela, you can take this one.
Yes. So again, in many of my discussions with the teachers, they're trying to figure out initially, where are they going to put the Earth Prize in their school curriculum, so to speak? Is it on the side? Is it a Saturday morning environmental, you know, sort of group, or is it within the school? And then they ask, can they join different teachers and do it together? For us, what's important is that you're doing the prize. We're excited if you're participating. How each school chooses to implement the Earth Prize within its curriculum or within its schedule is not for us to decide. I just help them think and realize where they might put it. So for the IB schools, a lot of them have put it into the CAS, area. And often they put two teachers who are sharing it. In other areas, I've spoken to a geography teacher and a science teacher. They're going to take it on board and do it together. So 100%, it's very much flexible about what suits the school, who's available, where they think it best fits, and where the students can actually get the kind of hours they need in order to prepare for this. So it's really dependent on the school, and we don't choose how they want to implement it. We're just very excited if they're participating. And I help them to figure out sometimes where to place it. That's all.
Thank you, Angela. So unfortunately, we're running out of time. So we'll pick a last question. But before that, there's a statement from John Codling, which I like to read out loud because it's very nice. He says, mine is more of a statement. I'm super proud of Peter, Angela, and this entire team for what they are doing. It's admirable, inspiring, and exciting to be a part of. Thank you very much, John. Appreciate it.
Very kind. Thank you, John.
Yeah. So maybe as a last question, I think this is a nice one from an anonymous attendee. What happens after the Earth Prize? Maybe Angela, you can take this one.
Okay, so this is something that was in my heart from the beginning when I talked to Peter McGarry. Because of the school I went to, I understood the value of an alumni and a network and an ecosystem. So actually, you participate in something, but not only do you participate, you become part of a family for the rest of your life. So in our minds, when you participate in the Earth Prize and you register, and you can pre-register right now, you become part of the Earth Prize alumni. Now, this is a network that is always going to support its students, whether you are 16, 17, 18, or in your 40s. Okay, we are not going to forget you. And that's what an alumni is. And this is our first year, and we're building it right now. But every single person who participates, you are part of our alumni. And we were happy to receive you, help you in any way we can for years to come. So it never ends, and come back next year and participate. And the next year, we'll be very happy to see you over and over again. Thank you.
Such inspirational words to end the webinar, right?
Thank you.
So thank you, Angela. Thank you, Karen. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. I know that there are many, many questions. We've run out of time, but we'll be reaching out to you to answer them, don't worry. And please come back to us if there are any questions that you want us to answer in addition. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. We really, really, really look forward to all the fantastic submissions that we'll receive for the Earth Prize. So please do visit our website and pre-register. And this was it for us today. Thank you very much. And we'll see you on our next webinar in June.
Thank you very much, Julie. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, everybody, for participating and joining us. Good evening.
Good evening. Goodbye.
Good evening. Goodbye.